The sea of Philippine flags are waving during the Cincinnati Open at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio. The stadium is filled with Alex's chants. Alex Eala just accomplished the unimaginable. By upsetting Amanda Anisimova, a two-time Grand Slam finalist and former world number 3, she stunned the tennis community. It was anticipated that the American powerhouse, who had dominated the competition with a 6-2, 6-3 triumph against Zeynep Sunnes, would be too strong, too experienced, and too forceful. Eala, however, had different ideas. She triumphed rather than merely competing. She played with the poise of a veteran twice her age, the accuracy of a surgeon, and the heart of a lion. In the stands, the Filipino supporters exploded. Social media took off. The world of tennis is in disbelief. We analyze the spectacular upset, the pivotal moments, and the tournament's implications. Click the notification bell and subscribe for more tennis coverage. This match's preparation was unlike anything the Cincinnati Open had ever witnessed. The Lindner Family Tennis Center was transformed into a sea of Philippine flags due to the influx of thousands of Filipino spectators. More akin to a basketball contest than a tennis match, the atmosphere was electrifying. Anisimova, the 9th-seeded American and 10th-ranked person in the world, acknowledged the enormous fan base that has followed Eala throughout the tour, stating that she anticipated strong opposition. However, Anisimova is no stranger to pressure. The 24-year-old finished second at both the U.S. Open and Wimbledon, making him a two-time Grand Slam finalist. She has won 4 WTA Tour titles, including 2 Masters 1000 titles in China and Qatar. She has been placed as high as 3rd in the world rankings. She is a strong baseliner with some of the strongest ground strokes on the circuit and a huge serve. Her power is especially destructive on hard courts. Eala, on the other hand, had both momentum and the burden of expectations going into the match. After Elena Gabriela Ruse withdrew while behind 6-1, 3-0, the 17th seed advanced to the 3rd round. It was her first victory in Cincinnati in her career, and it tied the score between her and Ruse at 1-1. More significantly, though, it arranged a first-ever encounter with Anisimova, a player who had never advanced past the 3rd round in Cincinnati. This meant that both women would be attempting to make history on the same court, and the stakes could not have been higher. It would be Eala's 7th victory over a top 10 opponent in his career. This season, she has already defeated 9 of the top 10 players, including Jessica Pegula, Coco Gauff, Elena Rybakina, and Iga Swiatek. Anisimova, however, was unique. The American audience supported her when she performed on home soil. Anyone may be blown off the court by her. Eala's greatest test to date was this one. She was prepared for it as well. It was obvious that Alex Eala had come to win from the very first point. She was calm, assertive, and self-assured. From the baseline, her left-handed ground strokes were producing Anisimova issues. The American pin was kept behind the baseline by her deep, heavy balls. She was also moving remarkably well, with no symptoms of the exhaustion that had afflicted her when she was in Toronto. Eala established her groove fast, but the early games were a feeling-out process. She never looked back after breaking Anisimova's serve early. With each point, the crowd let out a shout that reverberated throughout the arena as they chanted, "Alex." Eala appeared to be a seasoned veteran rather than a 21-year-old taking on the greatest challenge of her career because of the freedom and confidence with which she was playing. To her credit, Anisimova retaliated. She knew she could defeat elite players since she had done it in the past. Eala, however, was unfazed. She combined strong serves with deft angles and drop shots to hold her serve with authority. Anisimova was at a disadvantage as she dictated the play. The Filipino was controlling rather than really having fun. Eala's development and maturity were demonstrated during the contest. She had improved her fitness, mental toughness, and game. And it was evident. Anisimova struggled to find solutions because she had total control. Eala was winning the war of attrition despite the lengthy and violent rallies. Anisimova's power was being precisely redirected by her, making the American take more shots and make mistakes. Eala has a genuine ability for rerouting off pace and is quite adept with changing directions, as Andy Roddick had noted. She never gave Anisimova the same shot twice, which caused her discomfort. The American, who enjoys controlling play, was compelled to take a defensive stance. And Eala wanted her right there. The Filipino was conquering rather than merely competing. The atmosphere in the stadium was nearly intolerable as the game entered the final phases. A knife might cut through the thickness of the strain. After being boisterous throughout the game, the Filipino supporters switched gears. Their cries of "Alex" were so loud. Champions are created in this intense setting. And Alex Eala performed admirably. The game's pivotal moments were a masterclass in poise and execution. When it counted most, Eala remained composed, striking with intent and serving with accuracy. She took control of the match and didn't let go after breaking Anisimova's serve at the ideal moment. The American was left looking for answers because she had been so dominant in her prior contests. Eala's entire performance was summed up in the last point. Both players are pushing each other to the maximum during this exhausting rally. A sea of waving flags and yelling faces, the crowd was on its feet. Anisimova hurled everything at Eala, but the Filipina was unflappable. Eala completed the win with a wonderfully timed stroke. The stadium burst into flames. It was a coronation as much as a victory. Eala was filled with emotion. She soaked in the Filipino crowd's admiration as she triumphantly lifted her arms. It was her. She had defeated two-time Grand Slam finalist Amanda Anisimova, ranked 10th in the world. She had advanced to the fourth round of a WTA 1000 event and continued her winning run. Additionally, she had communicated with the tennis community. Alex Eala is a formidable opponent. Given the circumstances, the triumph was very noteworthy. Anisimova had swept Zeynep Sonmez 6-2, 6-3, demonstrating her lethal form. She was the player who was supposed to win, the home favorite, and the favorite. Eala, however, had different ideas. She had gained the greatest victory of her career by playing with the passion of a champion. The Cincinnati Open center court was transformed from a tennis court to a celebration of Filipino pride in the immediate wake of the spectacular triumph. The chants of Filipinos reverberated into the Ohio night, and the cheers were thunderous. It was an undiluted moment of sheer jubilation for the Filipino population in the United States. On one of the largest tennis venues, they had seen their heroine, the 21-year-old phenomenon, overcome expectations and defeat a difficult opponent. The moments went viral right away. Social media was inundated with footage of the crowd singing, waving flags, and giving one another hugs following the win. The triumph was more than just a sporting accomplishment. It was a cultural occasion and a potent illustration of the Filipino diaspora's tenacity and fervor. In addition to winning a tennis match, Alex Eala brought a community together and gave them a priceless memory. To her credit, Anisimova displayed poise in the face of adversity. Prior to the game, she had acknowledged the difficulty, stating that she anticipated a crowded stadium and was excited about the atmosphere. She had called Isla a fantastic player with a large following base, praising her amazing season. She maintained her composure in the face of defeat, demonstrating her sportsmanship and regard for the game. Eala's response was one of great pride and humility. She had added to her expanding list of victims by defeating another opponent ranked in the top 10. Her incredible record against players in the top 10 now stands at 10 victories. She was now a serious competitor on the WTA Tour, not merely a potential prospect. The immediate celebration of this victory is only one aspect of its significance. It is yet another significant chapter in Alex Eala's quickly growing history. She has now advanced to the fourth round of a WTA 1000 event, matching her best-ever result from February in Dubai. She has continued to win and demonstrated that she is capable of competing with the world's top players. It is true that the Eala impact is growing stronger. Let's take a closer look. The most recent development in a tale that has enthralled the tennis community is Alex Eala's incredible triumph over Amanda Anisimova. From a promising young talent, the Filipina diva has become a worldwide phenomenon. She has inspired a generation, brought communities together, and packed stadiums. Her rise from a young child who picked up a racket for the first time at the age of 4 to a top 20 player on the WTA Tour is evidence of her skill, tenacity, and fortitude. Eala has had an incredible journey. She became the first Filipino player to win a junior Grand Slam in 2022. She defeated 3 Grand Slam winners, including Iga Swiatek, during her incredible run to the Miami Open quarterfinals in March 2025. She made history in 2026 by winning a Grand Slam singles main draw match at the U.S. Open, making history as the first Filipina to do so. At the Washington Open, she won her first WTA Tour singles title after defeating 3 top-seeded competitors, including world number 3 Jessica Pegula in the championship match. Another significant milestone in this amazing trip is the triumph over Anisimova. In her brief career, Eala has now defeated 10 opponents ranked in the top 10. She has demonstrated that she is capable of competing on the largest stages, with the world's top players, and under the most extreme pressure. She is now a serious contender for big titles, not merely a potential talent. She gets support that is unmatched in the tennis world. Every game is now a home game for Eala thanks to the Filipino community, which has created an environment more akin to a basketball game than a tennis match. Anisimova recognized this, stating that she was excited about the atmosphere and anticipated a crowded stadium. This demonstrates the strength of the Eala phenomenon. For her, the Cincinnati Open is more than just a competition, it's a platform on which she is leaving her mark. She is not finished yet, having already advanced to the 4th round. Linda Noskova, the Wimbledon champion who has defeated her twice this year, may be her next opponent. But Alex Eala is the one who can beat the odds. The future is promising, and the tennis world is keeping an eye on it. Click the notification and subscribe for more tennis coverage.